Hi. So someone asked me to talk about how to record a podcast, and I decided to share to everyone else because a lot of people have asked me how do I record my podcast, and the first thing I use to record my podcast is Anchor. Anchor is a good platform because it's beginner friendly. It's also good because it helps you submit your podcast automatically to other platforms, and then it notifies you within 24 to 48 hours that it's available. You get it submits to Spotify, Apple, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, every other platforms. It just helps you submit it. You get notified too. So what is the first thing to do? The first thing to do is to download the app on iOS or Google Play Store. Yeah. And then when you must have downloaded the app, open the app, and of course this is this is a segment I just recorded. I'm yet to upload. I'm still editing them. So when you've opened the app, you're going to see the two button and your podcast discover. Of course, you have to register with your Gmail account or email account, and then you first record. This is recording button. I can't record because I'm screen recording, but this you press this record button and you start recording your podcast. Start talking. After that, you save and then listen to it and add the background music. Now, adding the background music, there are lots of background music. Let's say, for example, I'm going to use this recorded segment I have. You'll see something like this: add background music, edit audio, rename, export audio, or delete. Now, adding background music to your recording is so good. It helps you reduce noise, and it makes the podcast sound so good and great. There are lots of background music, and of course you have the import button in case you want to import a good better option background music to your podcast. You can do that. Just go to the import button and go through your phone. Wherever it's located in your phone, you import it, and this is where it is. That's the custom background music. These are the ones I imported, and this is the one the app has. It has this ones. I love this one, but I've never used it. There are lots of them. Yeah, I use this particular one app. There are so many, lots of them. This one I use this one. That's the one I use. A lot of them. They're so nice. So once you've added them, you add it and listen to it. That's for background music. And if you also want to edit your audio, that's one thing with the app. You can actually edit your audio so fast, and you trim and you take out things you don't like. Now, this is the mobile way of editing your podcast. Of course, that's the same way you can do it on your computer or anywhere. Yeah. So here,
Going
you edit. You just, in case you want to split or do anything, you edit, remove anything, and you save, and that is the way it is. I'm not going to save that.
so
Okay, if you want to add interludes to your pre-recorded segments, add interludes. These are interludes. You can add anyone to them. It's just like a break in segment when you want to take a break, or just to make the podcast sound so good and everything. You add you're going to see the add button. You say add interlude to episode. Now let's say, for example, I want to add this to the episode. It adds it automatically, and let's go back. Yes, this is it. Now if I want this interlude to be here, after my intro, because after my intro I introduce my podcast, and then before I start go to the main segment, I want something in between. You can put a song, you can put a music, whatever it is you want to do, you put it. Then I'm going to move this to this place and you save. Once you move it, you save. Let me do that again. You move it, swipe it down here, and you save. And it is where I want it to be. Save. Get. Now it is where I want it to be. Now after this intro plays, then you get your interlude and then the main segment. And what else? You preview your podcast. I say your podcast. Preview your recordings. Listen to it. Make sure there are no ums and ahs and all those things. You can actually, okay, that's gonna be another topic. Softwares or apps you can use to edit your podcast. Or some people use external professionals who edit anyone, but as a beginner you're just starting up and you want to just start up and do it yourself. Of course you can do it yourself, and there will be another video. I'm going to upload that soon. Okay, this is the details of the drafts of what you've recorded. Yeah, then here you're going to see the details. You'll see update episode details. Here you're going to see you have to put in the title. Let's say I want to use Be Yourself. That's just what just came to my mind. That's not the topic for this episode. Then the description, you talk about anything you want to talk about on that description. Just give specific details about the episode and what you think that will make your listeners, what you think you want your listeners to know. You add it up there. Now before that, you must have to customize your podcast art. What will appear in your podcast art. You can choose a photo, maybe. This is another thing I'm going to upload very soon, how to make a podcast cover art, the app I use and how to do that. Okay, it's gonna be another video, but once you've had the podcast art, you can upload it and update it and everything. Let's go back. So that's where you do that. Then you add the seasoned episode, and you can actually publish after recording, or if you want to publish a day later, you can choose the date, and then you publish, and your podcast will be heard by millions of people. Okay, so what else? Discover. Here you can discover other podcasts and get inspired. There are lots of them. My favorite is Twin Setters podcast. I love their podcast so much. And of course, I said podcast, the Nigerian version. So there are a lot of podcasts you can learn. And I love bands with Kosei. She's good. So this is where this is where you see other podcasts. Okay, this is my podcast. Here there's something else I'm going to ask. I'm going to talk about the sponsored segment. Anchor has a way of you making little money. I've not started making money. This is something I'm still working on. I'm trying to get to do a lot. This podcast is a work in progress. So I've not started the ad placement and everything, but it's something I'm working on. So let's go back to sponsor segments. Here you must have pre-recorded a sponsored segment, and then you already have it on the audio in your library. Now if you want to add it to each episode, you're going to see this button, add a sponsored segment, and the sponsored segment is already pre-recorded by you, and Anchor helps you do that a lot. It's already here. So if I want to add, I'll add. If I don't want to add in this episode, so I'm going to just delete it. Okay, I think I'm going to make I'm going to still talk about how to do this another way. It's going to be another topic, how to make money from podcast. It's going to be another topic, another video rather. So that is it. For you to check your analytics on the app, this is how you know how your podcast is performing, how many plays you have. Oh god, I haven't had plays this week, like 0 everywhere. Okay, I just had 1 play today. Yay! Wow. Why 1? People are not listening to my podcast. Okay, let's go. And you have your top episodes. My top episode is life lessons from Molan. People like this particular episode. That's good. Okay, and the second performing one is Never Have I. Oh wow. Okay, this is so good because you get to see what your audience like. It helps you know what your audience like. Like me, I haven't found a niche yet, but I want to talk about lessons. I'm sharing lessons from my life, everyday life experiences. All right, and here is the geographic region, how the people, kind of people that listen to your podcast, where they're from. Nigerians are falling my hand, 38%. Oh my god. United States, thank you so much. And I still have more. That is good. And this is the listening platforms. You get to know which platforms people use to listen to your podcast. I have order. Spotify is the lowest. That's so bad. Why? But that's good. And you have the age demographics. This is so good because you get to know your audience a lot through this too. Their age, and then the gender. Okay, for you to share your podcast generally, you have this button, the share button. You have copy link or share more. You share to any place you want to share to. Yeah. Okay, another thing for you to do if you want to check your distribution status. Yeah, for you to know how successful Anchor has distributed your platform, you have to go through this button and you see where Anchor has distributed your podcast. Mine is in Google Podcast, Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public, and each of them has a link for you to share to people. You copy the link and share to your social media platforms. And people click on them. Now Anchor has supported platforms, a lot of them. You can see them here. And you can tap here to copy your RSS feed and share, and you can actually use your hand to distribute your podcast yourself. Yeah, by copying the RSS feed, you can paste it, just like Apple takes so long for them to accept your podcast, but you can do it yourself. It's something you can do, and that will be another video too. So that's it. Mine is actually on Apple. I don't know why it's not showing here. And that's that for distribution status. Another thing is for your account settings, setting up your account. If you can change your URL, your email, and everything, your website, your photo, and your theme color. This is something you do and you save. What am I saving? I didn't change anything. And then here is your podcast settings. Yeah, the podcast art, you change it here, your name, podcast description, podcast category. There are lots of them. For me, I just choose society and culture for now, and language. Of course, if you want Anchor logo to be on your cover art, you can tap that. That's it. And you want your personal email address publicly in your RSS field, you tap that, and all of that, and that's it. What else am I forgetting? I think that's all. Okay, if you have any questions regarding this, please reach out to me on my social media pages. I'm going to drop that in this description button. Please don't hesitate to ask me any questions. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, this video is for beginners. People that find it so difficult to navigate around the app. If you have question or something else you feel I should do, please don't hesitate to drop your message to me. Thank you so much.